Hey everybody, welcome. It's Karen Lanoux from Attract More Now, and I'm so glad to be here with you today. It is Friday today. Maybe a different day when you're watching this in the future, but today, live, it's Friday. Woo! And so today I'm going to talk about not sweating rejection. Okay. Now, so many of us in business, whether again we are working for somebody else or sorry, working for somebody else or working for ourselves. Rejection stops us. It stops us from actually taking action on a lot of things. It stops us from putting ourselves out there, and it stops us from being bold, right? And one of the things that I help my clients with is to get to the top of their field, and part of that is to actually be bold, to be courageous, to be to kind of have that confidence. And one of the things I actually really want you to understand about rejection, well, and not even before we get there, we've all been through this, right? We've been through rejection. If you can just remember the last time you felt like you were rejected, and just think about just how painful it is, and how awful it feels, right? Now there's a number of things to do around this, a number of kind of mindset tricks to kind of shift yourself around this. But ultimately, when it comes down to rejection, the fear of rejection, again, it stops us cold and it stops us in our business. It stops us in moving forward in our careers, and it actually stalls us. So that's one of my key things in terms of making sure that we get out of this, is that we and start moving forward out of rejection or out of that fear of rejection, because again, it stalls us. And so I'm going to give you one tool to do that, to play with today. But I'll give you an example. So years ago now, I had enrolled in nursing school, and I was a year into my nursing, a year and a half into nursing, and what happened is. It's a very odd story, okay? And this is just the way these things happen, but it was a very odd story. And so there was one class that we had, it had 4 classes in it. So, you would think, okay, it's like, so 25% of your whole year, your whole semester is in one class. So each class is very important, right? Well, so and the one day that I had this particular class throughout the semester, I had to have my wisdom teeth taken out. So I'd gone to the hospital and got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I had to recuperate. Anyways, came back, talked to my classmates, and said, "Hey, what did we do last class?" And so I got a little bit of a fill-in. Here's the thing about the class, is that it was very simple. It was a very, very simple class. But again, one class, 25% of the information you're getting for the whole semester. So when it comes around to finals, I go in and I remember I got this little bit of information from my classmates, and I studied, and I'm a pretty good student, and so I studied, went through the test, and just thought I aced. And well, no, I was doing very well, and all of a sudden there's this whole section on stuff I didn't know, and I've never seen it before, and I didn't know anything about it, and I came out and was just in shock, because it's like, oh my God, what has happened here? Well, as it turns out, I failed the class. I didn't even fail that particular course. I just didn't get as high of a mark as I needed to. I think I needed to get, I don't know, 75%, and I didn't, because of course I missed that whole one section. And so what that did, though, is it imperiled my whole nursing career. And so so I went to the faculty, and I just said, look, I said, that was just one class. Can I retake the class? Can I retake the test? I missed this. And so there was all kinds of excuses that they came up with, and said, well, no, you should have actually gone to the teacher, not to your classmates. Granted, I was pretty young then and should have known better, but didn't. And anyways, ended up getting kicked out. And I shouldn't say that. I could go back through my whole first year and then and do all my classes, which I had done very well. So I couldn't even actually and wait until the next semester to start my second semester again. And because that would, if I went through the whole first year again, then that would actually make sure that I got into the second year, and I would be assured a place. I was just incensed about this, right? So essentially, I just felt totally like this was my career. This is the direction I was going. This is what I was meant to do. I thought in my mind at that point, and so and I was just floored. I was devastated that I was not going to be a nurse. But on the other hand, I didn't like how they handled things, right? And handled me because again, I thought I was a pretty good student, right? So here's the thing, I felt completely and wholly rejected by the industry that is supposed to have empathy and is supposed to, be there, to help people. Again, in the class that I didn't take wasn't like it was that I didn't pass, wasn't like it was, how to give needles or how to make sure you don't kill somebody. It was not that at all. So, anyways, I felt totally rejected by the nursing profession and was just, floundered for a little while. Here's the thing, looking back on that, and it didn't take that long for me to kind of go over it, get over it, and move on, but it wasn't the right match. Here's the thing, what we are also often trying to avoid when we're trying to avoid rejection is actually just trying to avoid something that actually isn't the right thing for us in the first place. And so what if you could start thinking about rejection instead of as it's just not the right match. It's not the right match for me anymore. And you can start asking yourself, well, what was I actually asking for? What was I looking for? What did I want to actually have in my life that I was focusing on and thinking about and concentrating on? And here's what I find often is that when we're focusing and concentrating on something, and which is the same thing as asking, and then all of a sudden the something that's in front of us falls away, or this great opportunity, this great contract, or even working with these coworkers, or moving into a new position, and it doesn't happen, even though we think we're actually focused on, well, I wanted this thing to happen, I wanted to have this continue to grow and expand, but yet it falls away. We're rejected. In fact, what we're experiencing is the fact that it's just not a match. And when you can come around to that understanding that rejection doesn't actually exist, it's just that we are just experiencing something or somebody that is not a match to us and not a match to what we're asking for. So often with my particular clients, business owners, where they are trying to get new people in or new clients in, and they think it's all going very well, but then all of a sudden the person just kind of falls away. That's always a great sign that the fact that probably they were not a good match. The other thing is also sometimes we, in our fear of being rejected, we're not necessarily communicating in the way that we need to, in the best way that we need to. So in order to make sure that we are letting this prospective client or person know that we are, that we are a good match, so they're not seeing the match. So again, rejection is never really about rejection. It's just that the match is not seen there. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is just start forgetting about rejection and just saying, no, I'm actually just going for the right match. And when you're looking at that, and when you're talking to people, and you're, and you again, if you're working for somebody and you're trying to, move up the ladder, or again, you're dealing with your coworkers and you're not getting along, well, it's just like, okay, how is this? Why is this not a match? Am I not? How am I not communicating? That we are a match, or that this is all good, or actually, in fact, is this no longer the right place for me, given what I really would like to have in my life, right? So just something to think about. So again, remember that rejection isn't really necessarily what we think it is. It's just not a match. And so if you can start thinking of it that way, then we're less likely to get into procrastination, less likely to stop ourselves from moving forward, and more likely to actually take action and move forward boldly and with confidence. All right, I hope that's been helpful for you. If you would like to talk more about this, if you'd like to explore how you could shift this in your business or in your career, please just connect with me. Go to, what is this? Sorry, talk to me. talkwithmeaboutthis.com. Sorry. So again, it's talkwithmeaboutthis.com, and that will take you right to my scheduler, which will then, we can just schedule a time to chat to see if there's something that we can do to help you with that. So and so again, what I'd love to hear from you is your thoughts below. If you're watching this on Facebook, then please connect in and just write in your thoughts below, or how you think you could use this in your career or in your business. And if you're watching this somewhere else in the future, please come over to my Facebook page, Attract More Now, and then just come join the conversation. All right, until next time, go out there and do your magic. Bye-bye.